Tat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So request you to please take the class from today. I'll take the announcements at the end. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So I welcome you all for this today's class. I'll just share my screen and then we can start for today's class. Okay, can somebody confirm if you are able to see the screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So once again, Hare Krishna to everyone, and I welcome you to this course of Gita Gyan, which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita by ISKCON Seshadripuram, Bangalore. And I hope everyone is doing very well. So Hare Krishna, everyone, and we'll start to the class. We'll start with the prayers. So it's saying when we start with the prayers, we invoke the mercy of Lord Krishna, and that we are able to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll request all the devotees, when I'm reciting the one by one line prayers, you can also repeat after me. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya.
Sure.
Devotees, you can repeat it after me.
Om
Chakshurum militam yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namah.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Samniti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Padayani Gaurakatha Dhamadayana Grama Tarini Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Tegrim Yat Kirpataham Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarnam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Isharam. Hare Krishna. So let us start. Thank you, devotees, for reading out the prayers. So this program is dedicated to ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Because of his blessings, we are able to conduct the classes here. Let us also take the blessings of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, who is the spiritual master and the GBC of ISKCON. Because of him, we were inspired and he instructed us, why can't we take online classes also? That's the reason we are here. So we'll take the blessing of my spiritual master and we'll start. Okay, we'll jump on to Gita Mahatmya. Which devotee wants to read for Gita Mahatmya? Okay, I'll share. Anybody wants to read? Okay. Please don't hesitate. Whatever pronunciation you are having with the slokas, it's neither right and wrong. Only the Lord sees how much effort you are putting. That is more important.
Okay, can I read?
Hare
Okay, can I read? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
yes, Mataji.
Okay,
Komal
Hare
Mataji, want
Krishna.
to read? Yeah.
Mala nirmochanam pumsam jala snanam dine dine sakrit gitamrit snanam sansara mala nasanam. One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water. But if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Komal Mataji, for reading it out. So this Gita Mahatma, so we are seeing from last 2 days, every day before we start our classes, we are reading one Gita Mahatmya. So this is the most quoted Gita Mahatmas, one of those. So in this, we are saying, how it is saying, one may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in the water. As we see, once we wake up early in the morning, we clean ourselves. Whatever the bodies we are having, we clean by taking bath. We clean ourselves by with the brush, our teeth and all. So similarly, it's a saying, if somebody takes a dip in the Ganges of water, what happens? All his sinful reactions goes away. What to talk about if somebody is reading a Bhagavad Gita even once also? So he's saying why the Bhagavad Gita is more sacred than Ganges, because if you see, we'll be coming in that later part of the session also, why this one is more sacred is there, why the water of Bhagavad Gita is saying, because for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Because if you think, this Bhagavad Gita is known as Song of God, and from the Lord mouth this Bhagavad Gita is been spoken, and from Lord Krishna feet Ganga is been emanating. So from if you take it if you're taking one time a bath in the Ganga, so everything is been sinful reaction is taking clean. So somebody is reciting one word also of Bhagavad Gita, what happens? All his material what is been dirt is been cleared. So that's what the benefit. Maybe in that further classes, I'll be telling you the story how the from Lord Lotus feet, Lord River Ganga is coming, and that's why it's very important. It's saying if you want somebody takes a bath in this Bhagavad Gita's sacred rings of water of Bhagavad Gita, for him all the dirt of material life is vanquishing. We'll move ahead. So today's we'll be discussing about chapter 3. So chapter 3 name is Karma Yoga. Before we start for the class, can somebody say what was the chapter 1 name?
Observing the
Hare
armies.
Krishna. Yes, battle. Observing the enemies on the
Armies in
battlefield.
the battlefield.
Armies,
Observation at the
yes.
battlefield.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji and
Kshetra.
Mataji are correct. And how many shlokas were there?
700.
700 slokas.
Nah,
In
that is
chapter
total.
1.
No, in chapter 1.
In
Yes,
chapter 1.
Bhagavad
No, we
Gita.
didn't notice.
Okay, so total there are 700 shlokas. In chapter 1, there are 46 slokas.
Okay.
And what was the instruction Arjuna was saying to Krishna? He said, I don't want to fight. And in chapter 2, how many? What was the chapter 2 name and how many shlokas were there?
Contents of Gita
Contents of the Gita summarized.
Yes, very true. And how many shlokas were there?
17.
72.
Yes, very true, Mataji. 72 shlokas were there. And in that chapter 2, if you see how Krishna spoke, how soul is different from the body. And he
Body.
talks, and Krishna talks about Sankhya Yoga. And there is a chapter 2 is known. If somebody doesn't have a time, if they only read chapter 2, it's a saying they have read entire complete Bhagavad Gita, because chapter 2 is known as the summary of Bhagavad Gita. So in there, Krishna talks about, first he talks about Sankhya Yoga. In the Sankhya Yoga, it's talk about the soul. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna. Can anybody says what were the 5 reasons which Arjuna said, I don't want to fight?
Yes, one of them, Hare Krishna,
Yes,
one
Hare
of
Krishna,
them was he was having compassion for his families and relatives. The second was I mean, there would have been sinful reactions. And
Yes.
the third was, I mean, there was no enjoyment if he had, if he would have won. And the fourth was,
Destruction of family traditions.
Yes,
yes,
Mataji.
this,
And what was
and
the
the
last reason?
Indecision.
indecision. He was not confirmed. I mean, why he wants to fight or why he doesn't want to fight. He was indecisive about that.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So that was there. So these were the 5 reasons, CESDI. So this were, if you convert, Sri Hari Prabhu also said CESD. So these are the 5 reasons you should remember. And the 5th one, which was the indecision in chapter 2, Arjuna start with the sloka. So in our life also, we see what is right and what is wrong. We don't know what path should be taken. Once we, whether we are in any sphere of the life, we say we don't want. So Arjuna also was indecisive. He was not knowing whether I should fight or whether we should not fight also. So Krishna in the 2nd chapter, and from this onward, this 5 reasons, slowly and slowly, Krishna will be giving his 5, whatever the reasons Arjuna have given, he will be giving him the reason why you should be fighting. And just like whether we should go to left or whether we should go right. So that 2.7 shloka in that, Arjuna was saying to Krishna that if this is indecision, I'm not able to say. So Krishna gave that the first instruction of Sankhya Yoga, that yes, you are not this body, but you are this soul. And so what were the characteristic of the soul? Can somebody say? Yesterday we discussed.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Dhamati speaking. Can I
Dhanmati,
speak?
yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, the soul is unbreakable.
Yes.
It cannot be burnt by fire.
Yes.
It's unchangeable.
Yes.
It's inconceivable.
Invisible as well.
Yeah, Prabhuji, it's invisible.
Yes. So this were the.
Also, I would like to add, it cannot be moistened by water. It cannot be, I mean, dried up by air. That is all. It cannot be cut by any weapon.
Correct.
Like that.
So these were the some souls which there are other slokas also in this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and the size of the soul is the tip of the hair at 10,000.
Yes, if you cut that hair by 1/10,000 part, that's the size of the soul. It is invisible. So we see this body gets destroyed, but the soul never gets destroyed. So that talks about. So now we see in the end of the 2nd chapter also, Krishna talks about Arjuna about this karma kanda, what is karma yoga also. So in the starting of this chapter, we'll see in this, if you see what is karma and what is yoga. So this karma chapter, this 3rd chapter, and if you see the 5th chapter, both are having the same name, which is known as karma yoga. According to you, what is karma and what is yoga in one word only?
Karma means work.
Yes, correct. Any other
Karma
answers?
means work and activity.
Okay, thank you.
Doing work in Krishna consciousness.
That is
Yes,
Karma
that is.
Yoga.
Yes. So if I ask you what in one word, what is yoga?
Work is
Connection with the divine.
Connection with the
Yes.
divine through meditation.
Yes. So we'll all see whatever work we are doing, how we can connect it with the God, and that work will be known as a karma yoga. So we'll be seeing in third and what is difference between this third chapter and fifth chapter also. So we'll move ahead and let us start with our chapter, and let's see what Arjuna is telling to Lord Krishna. Okay, who wants to read this shloka?
Arjuna
Yes, Uday Mataji, you can read it. Jayate chat karmanaste mata buddhir janardhana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojye aise keshava. You can read the translation, Mataji.
Arjuna said, "Oh Seshadripuram, oh Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive at birth."
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for reading it out. So here we see Arjuna got that intelligence that he is the soul. We live our life like we are this, we think that we are this body, but actually Krishna gave that instruction and they said the soul cannot be killed. Then why you are lamenting, why you are thinking that you will be getting some sinful reaction? So it's saying whether he should work or just remain without any vetty, because he's the soul. So Arjuna is asking his question, when Krishna you're telling me that I am the soul, so in that case I shouldn't be doing any activity, because the soul is he doesn't die, he doesn't have to do anything. So he's continuing, so he is asking question. He in the second chapter, if he says that in the Krishna took that as a role of a guru and Arjuna took the role as a disciple, and he in the humble way he started asking Krishna, tell me what is beneficial for us. So in our, similarly in our life also, if you see, whenever we are having any troubles, we ask some help from our superiors, family, guru, or whatever the person who is having that expert in that knowledge. So Krishna is given that expert knowledge to Arjuna here, and he's saying, why do you want me to engage him in this ghastly warfare? When why you are saying, when you are talking me on that work on that soul level, why should I fight or not fight? I'm very confused, Krishna. So he's asking here, what should I do? Should I do my duties, which is known as the karma, or should I renunciate? So Arjuna is asking here one question: if I don't do a work, I won't be getting a sinful reaction. So one of the reasons he's asking, if we are on the soul level, if you do our work, and what is the renunciation? Let's see what Krishna immediate response will be there for this question. So he is asking, you have given me this intelligence, which is what is the difference between karma and renunciation? Should I fight or should I go to jungle and renunciate and don't fight? Let's see what Krishna replies to that. Okay, who wants to read it? Rajesh Prabhu, you want to read it?
I'll try to.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhu, if you are speaking, maybe I'm not able to hear. Rajesh Prabhu.
May I try, Prabhuji, but I'm not sure of the pronunciation.
No issues, Mataji. There is no nothing to feel like what is about the pronunciation.
Hare Krishna. Vyamisrineva vakyena buddhim mohyaya sevame tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Sorry if I've made
No,
a mistake.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. If you can just guide me, I'll probably say it better.
Mataji, you can read the translation also. You said it very correctly.
My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Shubha Mataji. Thank you for reading. So here, Krishna is asking, my intelligence is bewildered, is not able to decide what is right and what is. He's saying, you said doing activity is good because it says soul never dies and the body dies, so then we won't be getting a karma. And then for these two types of instruction, he's asking which one to follow. Shall I fight or shall I not fight? So he's not keeping the question to himself. He's asking this question on behalf of us also. Arjuna is further saying, tell me what is beneficial. And in the spiritual life also, we'll be saying sometimes we are very stuck. What needs to be done? We are taking help of what time, what should be doing. We ask our seniors. So here Krishna will be replying to that immediate answer in that next shloka. So Arjuna here wanted to clarify his understanding. Which one is better? Should I fight or not fight? Should I do my karma or should I renunciate? Should I leave my job and do renunciate and not do my job? So let's see what Krishna is saying the answer of Arjuna to question. Okay, who wants to read it? Who haven't read, want to give it a try? Dhanpal Prabhu, you want to read it? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Na karmanam anaramban nais karmayam purusosnute nacha sanyasanad eva siddhim samadhigat achati. Translation: not by merely abstaining from work one can achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for reading it out. So Krishna here is very clear. He's saying you cannot abstain from work and attain perfection. Karma actually means reaction. So suppose two hands is there. If you bring these two hands together, it will clap. It is making a sound. That is karma. Any action you perform, you will be getting a reaction out of it, whether it is good, whether it is bad. So karma means reaction. So Arjuna is asking, if I don't do karma only, I won't be getting any reaction, because Arjuna, one of the reason was fearful of sinful reaction. So this is the basic understanding. So just by abstaining from work, you won't achieve any perfection. Right now, something will be there. So work gets means is, so Arjuna is asking, if I do work, I'll be getting a sin. So Arjuna was been answered. Krishna is saying not merely by abstaining from work can achieve freedom from reaction. Even if you don't do work also, you will be getting some reaction of that. How is Krishna is saying, just suppose you're not doing any work, if you're like going on your feet also, what will happen? Say some ant or something will be crushed down by your feet, and again you'll be getting that reaction for killing that ant unknowingly also. So the question always remain, where do we go and what do we do after that? Abstaining from work, below is for renunciation. So here, if you say, take an example of a cooking, lot of matajis are there. So if the mother will be cooking for our family members, so if the salt is more, suppose in some days salt is very more in the in the food. Okay, I'll mute. So if the salt is more in the food and somebody says, okay, today you have cooked for, sometimes our family members also say in a more harshly way and say the salt is very more in today's food. And then the mother or the sister or whatever the lady is there, if she thinks, okay, let me not cook. So if she stops cooking, then the family needs to suffer. So according to everyone, there is the one prescribed duties are there. There are dharmas are there which they need to do their prescribed duties. So if mother doesn't prepare the food, what will happen? Other family members will also suffer. So whatever we eat, what we do, we offer to Krishna and then we eat. So the second part is saying, so Arjuna is saying, if I renounce everything, I won't be getting any karma. So he's saying that Krishna here it is saying, if you renounce everything also, that doesn't guarantee you that you will be attaining a perfection. So suppose there are roles which are needs to be placed in our society. There are teachers are there are parents are there, devtas and the sadhus are there. Everyone have some or the other responsibility which they need to fill according to their occupation. So the teachers are there, they give that education. If the no teachers were there, how the children will grow? If there were no parents, how the children will be getting education at home only? Because parents are the basic teachers. Here is saying you cannot run away from your karma, because even if you renunciate, even if you go to the, Arjuna was saying, I will renunciate and I'll go to Himalayas, I will run away from what my work is there, that is one, it doesn't want to fight. So Krishna is saying, if you run away from your responsibilities, that's also doesn't guarantee you. We'll see how Krishna will be saying further also. One cannot sustain without taking help of in this material world. If you're saying, if you use it freely also, we need to give it back to the mother also. We'll see how it is there. What Krishna further is telling in the shloka, we'll see. Okay, 3.8. Who wants to read it? I see Swarnlata Dhanpal Mataji, you have raised your hand. Mataji, can you unmute yourself and please read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Loka 3.8. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayu he akarm manaha.
Nityam pura karma kavyam karma.
Yes, Swarnlata Mataji, you can go ahead.
Na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Translation. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So Krishna here is like exploding a bomb here. So he's saying you need to perform your prescribed duty. If you're not doing your duty also, it's saying for doing
Hare
is so
Krishna
better.
Prabhuji, you are in mute.
Hare Krishna.
No, we can hear
No,
you,
no, we
Prabhuji.
can hear you, Prabhuji. Please
Okay,
continue.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So Krishna is saying here, you need to perform your prescribed duties. If you don't perform your duties, it's saying performing your duty is better than not working. So one cannot even maintain his one physical body also without work. So Krishna, here it's talking about your duty. Sometimes we see like lot of people, many of us people think, take an example of water bottle also. If you fill water in your water bottle and keep it, and if you keep it here and you think somebody will come and make me drink this water, you need to raise your hand and then take the bottle and again drink it. You need to perform your duties. If you're not performing your duty, you can't even uh, drink water also. Similarly, everyone, parents are there. If father is there, if he's not working, what will happen? The family will suffer. The family won't be having any money, and then the family won't be able to run. So he's saying other things, it's one cannot even maintain this physical body. Arjuna actually wanted to go to the forest actually, and he wanted to lead a very peaceful life. He didn't want to kill his family, his friends, all his family members were there. But Krishna is saying by going to forest, you cannot attain perfection of life, because similarly we go on, because once somebody renunciate, we don't be getting anywhere. So what will you do after renunciation? Krishna is asking you, even if you go to the Himalayas also, you will be thinking about your house which is there in your Bangalore, Hyderabad and Pune. So Krishna is saying Maya is everywhere, even if there it is in Himalayas also. So suppose if you are sitting in here in Himalayas, if you go to like at your home, like people are coming and giving you the food, if you are there in the Himalayas, again you'll be thinking of that how you can eat the food also. Again, if you are renunciating everything and going to Himalaya, there also will think, okay, has my children have eaten the food? Have my parents is good or not? So is this question will be always be there, and then it will be there. So he's saying, Krishna is insisting, no, you need to work. Because why it's Krishna is saying, we'll be seeing in that further also. If nobody is working, nobody will be giving you this, because everyone in this material world is fighting for three things: roti, kapra, makan, food, shelter and house, and money also. If without that basic necessity, nobody can proceed also. Let's see what Krishna further is telling. 3.9. Who wants to read it?
Could I read it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Yajnartha karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tad artham karma kaunteye mukha saga samakara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his sacrification, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for reading it out. So here, Krishna is talking about we need to work. How Krishna is talking about how should be doing our duties, how we should be doing our karma yoga. We need to do as a sacrifice for Vishnu. When we do, then we won't be getting any sinful reaction. Otherwise, what will be happening? We'll be getting bondage in this material world. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna here, you should do your prescribed duty. So what was the prescribed duty of Arjuna? Arjuna prescribed duty was to fight the war. He was a Kshatriya. He cannot run away from the battlefield. Why Krishna is saying? Because he's saying if you do your prescribed duty, for his satisfaction, for Krishna's satisfaction. In this way, we won't be getting any sinful reaction. So Krishna is saying how we should be doing our work. Work should be performed for Vishnu. Even if you do any yagnas also, the first work is being given to. So Arjuna said he was having a fear of sinful reaction. So Krishna here is saying you won't be getting any sinful reaction if you do work from me. So he is very clear. Krishna is very clear saying that you have to work, but it has to be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. So whatever work you are doing, same work we can offer it to Krishna. If you do that, you won't be getting any reaction. It won't be binding you. In a practical way, how we'll be seeing in the further classes also, we'll be seeing how we can work this in the further sessions. We'll be seeing. So how Krishna is telling you, Arjuna, that you will be doing your work, you do it for me. So if you are cooking, and if you are eating also, just offer to Krishna, and then if you eat, you won't be getting any sinful reaction also. So take an example. If you're having a vehicle, so we use our vehicles of lot of other activities also. For that vehicle, same day, if we go to a temple of Krishna, a Vishnu temple, if we go, the same vehicle we are using for the service of Krishna also. In that way also, sometimes whatever activities we are doing, we won't be getting any sinful reaction. Do it as an sacrifice and as an offering to me. We do a lot of work as a sacrifice for family, but we put Krishna in between, and then if we work and then we do anything, that we won't be getting this reaction of bondage. So here Krishna is saying, so Krishna means no bondage. When anyone is working for Krishna, he won't be getting anything. So we'll be seeing how this shloka Krishna is saying, we'll be seeing with practical example how we can understand actually. So can somebody say what is the difference between these two pictures which is been flashing here on the screen? Okay, I see.
Yes,
Knife.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Pallavi Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
One is to
Knife is used for good purpose. This side, the other side, knife is used for saving a life.
Yes.
One is for killing a person, one is to save a life. So that's a difference.
Yes. So we are able to understand in these two cases, the results, the instrument is same thing, but the result is different. The same person is a convict, is like admitted into the jail because he have done a murder case. So that's the reason he is being, what is the result he will be getting? The left-hand person, if he does a murder or something, if he injure anybody, according to the laws of government, we will be put into a jail. The second way, the same instrument is there. The doctor is using the knife to save somebody. Both of them are using the same knife, which is the instrument. But if doctor, after the operation, somebody will come and will say him thank you, and he will be saying best of you, and he will be respected in that family members and the society. But in the same way, the other side of the left hand side of the picture, he will be put into a jail. So Krishna is saying, if you work for Krishna, you won't be getting any karma. Let us see one more example, how we can understand. One more is there. Okay. Can somebody say who haven't spoke till now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Pallavi Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Army actually saves the people, and terrorists kill the people for no use.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other answers also? What is the common here? What is the common between
one
these
is
two?
saving the nation and other one is destroying it.
Yes, Rajesh Prabhu. Very correct. So this is, we say, both are there in the same country. The army, the defense forces saves the people. Because of them, we are able to live peacefully in our country. And in the same way, if you see, some terrorists are also there in the country. So that is there. What they do, they make some chaos and the people will not be in peace conditions. So that's, if you see this common point, this army people are also using gun, and this terrorist people are also using this gun. Army with guns and army with guns and terrorists with guns. Both of them, if army man kills somebody, he will be getting a medal from whom? The nation or from that government of the country. But the same way, if terrorist is killing somebody, he will be hanged or he will be suffering. So whatever activities you do, karma means any action you perform, you will be getting that reaction. Either it will be suffering, or either it will be a enjoyment. So karma means any action you perform, you'll be getting a reaction, either good or either a bad. So here in this case, he will be having an enjoyment because he will be giving some rewards. He will be giving some rewards from that government of India, and in the other ways he will be also rewarded that, but it will be as a suffering. So we will not be bonded by any reaction. If one have to work as per the rules of the government, one is not disturbed. But if somebody is working for the government, in this case army, he will be getting rewarded. And if somebody is going against the law of government, he will be getting punished. So similarly, every in that material world where we also living, we are, the laws is the supreme law. Krishna is that he is having also some law. If somebody does good, he will be getting the good karma, and somebody does a bad, he will be also getting a. So let us see how we should be performing great, and Krishna, what further Krishna is saying. So who wants to read this 3.14 sloka? Okay, Pallavi Mataji wanted to read. I guess you have raised your hand. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Anand bhavanti bhutani prajad anna ana sambhava yajanad bhavanti prajayano yajana karma sambhava
Hare Krishna Mataji, are you muted? Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll read it maybe. Anadbhavanti.
I'll read it, Prabhuji.
Okay.
All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajana sacrifice, and yajana is born of prescribed duties.
Yes, thank you
Hare
Mataji
Krishna.
for reading it. And here Krishna is talking about, see, all our living entities in this material world, there are 84 lakh of species are there. Everyone's subside means everyone is dependent on this grains. If we don't eat, we won't be able to survive in this material world. So it's saying everyone is been surviving. And how these grains are being produced? If there is no rains, there is no grains. So he's saying, Krishna is saying these grains are being produced by rains. And how these rains are produced? These rains are produced by yagnas. The yagnas or the sacrifices. So any yagna somebody is doing, the first yagna is being offered to Vishnu, and then it is done. I'm saying the yagna is born out of prescribed duties. So what is the duties? If you don't, Krishna in the before of 3.12 section, it's saying, so if one cannot understand what God is, what Krishna is, that at least do a sacrifice for the demigods here. If you do this yagna, you will be getting rains, and through these rains, grains will be coming, and then you will be able to survive. So demigods here are the devtas. In this, if you take an examples, there is one country prime minister will be there. Suppose if you take an example of an Indian government, so Modi is there. So definitely there are other subordinates are there, like water minister will be there, some will be road minister will be there. So definitely, so everyone be some portfolios will be there which they are being assigned, and like they are working. So we have to offer something. So if you are earning somewhere, suppose if you are earning in India, if you are earning for India, so you need to pay some slabs are there. If you go to different countries, you need to pay the taxes 30%. But what about those things which we are getting free from the mother nature? We are getting sun, we are getting water, we are getting air. These are the free things. If we are not having air, in the corona cases, we see a lot of like we were paying for that oxygen. Now if you see 20 years before, nobody was buying that water bottles, but now everyone is buying the water bottles. So think about these things which is we are getting freely from that mother nature. And who is providing these all things? Krishna is providing. So if somebody is saying, if you don't work for me, at least work for the devtas. So humans, this, when the man and when the demigods work together, what will happen? It will be having a good world. They can, in this way they will be coexisting. Human does a sacrifice, they do a perform a yagna, what will happen? The demigods which are in charge of those things, they will give you the results. When you go to a market, you give something. In our family members also, if you see, there is a principle of give and take policy. Families and friends, who we calls, if we don't give something thing to somebody, they also won't be giving to us. So similarly, in this way, if you want to become happy, whatever free things which we are getting, we also need to give them back. So here we do a yagna, we do a sacrifice, and in return the devtas get that happy, and they give the results in the form of rains. And when the rain happens, what happens? This grain comes, and when the grain is coming, all the people eat, and then they will be happy. So it's a saying, grain, rain, and then yagna. This is a similar. So people are giving tax to the government in order to live here. We are paying home tax, we are paying electricity, whatever you are buying, also we are giving a tax. So similarly, what people here, if you say in the older days also, if you see, even for eating food also they used to offer, and then they used to eat also. So here saying like how practical this Bhagavad Gita is talking about this. All living beings are sustaining on this food, and then from food it is coming on the rain, and from rain yagna is. Then yagna is born of prescribed duties, which Krishna is saying. When you work, you will get material supplies, but if you keep it to yourself for our own sense gratification, then we are known as a thief. Why we are known as a thief? Krishna is saying, suppose I'm earning some amount of money. If I'm not paying that amount tax to the government, I'll be known as a thief. Whether I need to, suppose if I'm not claiming, means submitting my income tax, either I'll be paid either I'll be putting a fine, or the second thing, I'll be put inside a bar. So you're saying we are known as a thief. So second, you're saying, why Krishna is saying, why you are a thief? Because you are not offering it to the demigods and keeping it for all yourself, which you're getting it. If the rain is not there, we won't be able to drink water also, food also, nothing will be there. So in the society of thieves, no one can be ever happy. When you perform yagna, from that yagna, demigods will be very pleased and sacrifice. In turn, they will be pleasing, they will be giving the rain, and the living entities will be having the rain, and that's what the grain will be coming. By the cooperation between these men and demigods, there will be always be peace and prosperity across it. We'll see. Let's see what Krishna further is telling. Okay, who wants to read this 3.21 shloka? Yes, I see iPhone.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Ashwani Mataji. You can read, Mataji.
Yada yada cheta tat tat yavator ja sayat prama kurute lokatat avarata. Whatever action a great man performs, common man follows, and whatever standards he set by explain acts at the world pursue.
Thank you, Ashwani Mataji, for reading it. Krishna is very pleased when somebody tries to recite these shlokas in whatever manner they read. Krishna will be very happy with your effort. So this is very important understanding we should be having. So Krishna here is talking about whatever action a great man performs, common man also follows that. And whatever standards they set, the common worlds follow it. We should be clear here why we should be doing whatever activities we are doing. Other will also try to follow those things. We say achar prachar, whatever we do, others will be also following. So Krishna here was telling to Arjuna, so Arjuna, if you run from the battlefield, what will happen? What will a common man will think about? To as a kshatriya, as a common responsibility, what is the role and responsibility for a kshatriya? Each one of you, whoever is present in this Zoom call, each one of you is having a circle of influences, whether it might be smaller or a bigger. So here, every one of you is a leader. So because if most of you are mom, parents, dad, brother, elder cousin, so everyone is some or the other, you are a leader. You have to properly act. If you're not acting properly, others members of your family might be seeing you, and they will also acting. And so here's Krishna is saying, yat yat achratir shrita. So whatever is saying, great man will follow how we are supposed to work. Krishna here it is saying how we need to work. The great man, others we will be following in the. So the four examples which we have taken it here is that this is the story of Lord, means everyone is aware of Ramayana. Maybe I won't be getting too deep, but what we can learn from this Ramayana is that Lord Ramchandra was like known for his behavior. He was known as for Maryada Purushottam Ram. So today is also it's a saying, the government or the nation also wants that Ram Raj should be there, that he was known as the Maryada Purushottam. So if you're saying, imagine, so Ram, as soon as he was just a minute, I'll mute. Yeah. So as soon as he was given the throne with his family members, he said, you need to go for that exile. We are not going to the deep. So just imagine you were made the king, and the next day you will be said you should leave your kingdom, and then you'll need to go. So similarly, or take an example, you are made a CEO of the company in the morning, and evening you have been demoted from that seat, and then you need to go, or a higher post is given. So similarly, but if you see this Ramchandra didn't had a tinge of expression or tinge of lowness as there. He said, whatever my parents are saying, whatever my mother wishes, whatever my father wishes, I'll be obliging that. And what happened, he came out, and when he met Dashrath and Kaikai and asked, he went to, can you go to the forest for 14 years? And there was no change in his attitude and even his mental position also. He just left and he went to that forest. So what we can understand from this story is also, this leaders, it shows how we can follow them. So take an example of he was ready to, Lord Ramchandra was ready to follow his father wishes also. Mahatma Gandhi, everyone knows, because of him also he have fought it for our independence. So Mahatma Gandhi, when he wore khadi, everyone started wearing khadi. So the nation started following him. Abraham Lincoln, whether it is Nelson Mandela, so people, whatever good work he was following, so everyone started following him. So there is an example also how practically we can also lead a proper good life and be an example for our family members. Just take an example. A lot of times we tell our kids, and whether it's a daughter or whether it's a son, we shouldn't be telling lies. We give good cultures to them, and what happens, we are teaching our kids that we shouldn't be lying, and suddenly we get a call from this father got a call from office, and he asked his daughter to pick that call. And that office, the behind that call, the person was saying, can you tell me, there is some work which needs to be done. Where is your father? Can you give the fourth room? This father told to her daughter, say that I'm not here, and you can keep the phone. So when this daughter kept her phone, then the daughter came and asked, dad, just now you said to me we shouldn't be lying, then why you told me to lie? So he showed by example that he speaks lies. Whatever good habit we want to inculcate to the others, everyone is a leader. Through your behaviors, through your natures, your own family members will be seeing you, and that's it. So here Krishna is also saying, whatever great man performs, common men will be following you, and that's where the world will be there. So Krishna is saying, if you only run away from this battlefield, all of us have a responsibility. We need to understand how we should be working as the elders in the family, as a leader in the society. We have to do as a service to Krishna, then it is very clear, practical. So Krishna is saying, if you run away from your responsibility, if you run away from your work, what the other people will, common men will be learning it from you. Okay, let's see what are the process recommended for each age. Krishna is further also telling you. So this is from Srimad Bhagavata, how we talk about complete how we should be working, how karma yoga we should be doing. So in each yoga, how this process it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Can somebody want to read this shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 12 canto 3rd chapter? It's been mentioned there. Swarnalatha Mataji, yes Mataji, please read this shloka.
Prabhuji, just interruption.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sir, once anyone reads this shloka, the pronunciation is not correct, I think, or it is something they cannot do it. Please
Yes.
repeat, because you can do it. Request.
Prabhu, there is maybe we'll after this session we'll be having a separate classes for this. Somebody wants to read properly how to recite and all. Because if it give on time on proper recitation also, it will be difficult. And most important, the thing is Krishna is seeing how much efforts you are putting.
Okay,
It
okay.
takes courage. It takes some courage, like everyone is listening. It takes some courage to also come and recite it in whatever way you are. Krishna is seeing that effort. That's the
Okay.
service we are doing. Prabhu will be taking, as we are taking that input, and like there will are separate classes also. Maybe we can come back for this. Yes, Sonlatha Mataji, want to read it, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnum Tretayam yajato makkayah Dvapare paricharyayam Kalautat tari kirtanat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is talking about what are the recommended process, whatever the yagna should be performed in each user. So we know there's a yogas are there. So in this Krita yoga, which is nothing but these are the 4 yogas are there in the Dwapar Yoga, in Kali Yoga, in Treta Yoga, in the Krita Yoga. So there were different process which are recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam, which the Lord says if somebody is doing this one. So in Krita Yoga, the number of people, if you say in this yoga, the people used to live for 1 lakh years. And what was in this yoga, what was that prescribed duty which the Lord said is that if somebody is performing this yagna, which is that dhyato vishnum. So people, in order to meditate, they used to meditate for so many millions of lakhs of years on like the Lord of Krishna, and then they used to, at the end of this life, they used to go back home, back to Godhead. If you come to this Treta Yoga, so Treta Yoga is says yajyato makakam. So it's a before it says what is yoga dharma. So this was this in this yoga dharma. So people used to do sacrifices. If you subtract 1 0 from Krita yoga, it will be coming 10,000 years. So 10,000 years people used to live in Treta yoga. If you subtract 1 more 0, it will be coming 1,000 years, which is the lifespan of Dwapar Yoga. So in the Dwapar Yoga, it was saying Parishana. So people used to worship the deities of the Lords. And if you subtract 1 more 0, that is the lifespan of the people who are living in Kali Yuga. So we people who are born in Kali Yuga, there are 4,32 years, 4,32,000 years are there the total, and it's been 5,000 years only passed, and there are 4,27,000 still left, and the total age of like an average age is 100 years. But if we see the total, so many diseases are coming. If people is able to live for 50 or 60 years also, they are saying I have lived my lives. So in this Kali Yuga, it's a saying Kalau Tad Dharti Kirtana. So in that age, if you simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. No need to do other recommended, because see, when we are doing yoga, when we are doing dhyan, if we chant for a few rounds, we'll say we are not able to control our mind. It's very difficult to sit like this and then meditate on the Lord. And if you come to this Treta Yoga, so we do a sacrifices. There are other entities like fire are needed, ghees are needed. In this Kali Yuga, if you go to buy an ghee also, in that 1 kg of ghee, 800 grams of ghee, pure ghee will be there, and 200 grams of they mix as a dalda, they will mix to make that pure. That's how they are cheating other peoples also. And the Brahmanas are also very qualified. They were used to recite this mantras. If you want to perform this mantra, they will ask you how much money you are given. Then they will recite these verses. In this Dwapar Yuga also, those peoples used to perform this duty. They used to maintain this austerities. They used to clean those body. But in Kali Yuga, no need. Even if you're sitting at home, just simply by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you can perform this yagna. This is known as Sankirtana Agna. In this also, you can, this is the yagna for this. This is the yoga dharma for this. Why we can't do proper yagna in this Kali Yuga? Now we are learning this scripture. We must understand practically how in this Satya Yuga, this Krita Yoga is also known as Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, or better is the Kali Yuga. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that if somebody perform this Sankirtana Yagna, they will be freed from all those material miseries. We'll be seeing what is Sankirtana Yagna from Srimad Bhagavatam. Maybe this next slide I'll say. Okay, who wants to read this shloka? Krish.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please.
Krishna Varnam Tvisi Karshanam Sangopagastra Prasadam Yagnahe Sankirtanehe Prayar Yajnati hi su videsaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading it. Mataji, may I know your name also, please? Can you rename it? It will be easy to repeat your
Yeah,
name also.
it was said by default. Sorry, Prabhuji, my name
Okay,
is
no
Yashika.
issues. Thank you, Mataji, for reading it so nicely. And you can rename your name also. It will be easy for us to take the attendance also, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna, Mataji. So here it's saying Kriti yat dhyayato Vishnu tretam mimakha. So he said in this age of Kali, maybe I'll be talking more in the future classes also. The photos, if you see here, this is known as a Pancha Tattva. Here I can also show this is known as a Pancha Tattva. This is Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the blue side which you are seeing, this is Nityanand Prabhu, and beside this blue side, this white is this Gadadhar Pandit is there, and this is none other than Advaita Acharya, and this is red one which is in the screen. Also you might be seeing red one which is flashing here. It is Gadadhar Pandit, and this is maybe I'll be talking you more about that. So this is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's Krishna himself who have come this 500 years before. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has born in that holy land of Mayapur, Navadip. He was born there, and Krishna, he came personally there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and he came and he just distributed this holy name, this Sankirtana Yagna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So just 500 years before only, Krishna came here and gave this holy name. If somebody sincerely chant this holy name, what will happen? Whatever impurities are there, the impurity dirts are there in our hearts, it will go away, and we'll be always be happy and peaceful. So he says, saying Krishna is saying in this Kali Yuga, this intelligent person perform this congregated chanted, and that's how we worship. It's very easy. Simply by sitting here, we can perform this Sankirtana Yajna. So he's saying he always used to constantly saying the names of Krishna. He practically showed us how we should be as a devotee, how we should be taking that name. And he's saying he is Krishna himself. He's accompanied by his associate. I showed these are the Pancha Tattva. We know this five are known as Pancha Tattva. He's been, whenever Krishna accompanies in this material world, we'll be seeing in the further slokas also in other days. Whenever he's coming in this material world, he's been accompanied by his associate also, his servants also, and his weapon. What is the weapon? Which when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here, his weapon was Sankirtana Yajna. Whenever through that Sankirtana Yajna, whatever impurities which was there in our heart, it got destroyed. And this is the confidential weapon. So saying anyone, any religion, everyone can just simply be at their home also, and they can reside. So I'll request everyone, maybe we will just chant 11 times of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then we will move to it. This will just take 1 minute of time. I request everyone, a humble request. You can unmute yourself, and we'll recite 11 times of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then we'll, because reciting through Maha Mantra only, we'll be able to understand what is the dharma of this yoga. Okay, I'll start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Thank you all devotees for chanting
Hare
wonderfully
Krishna.
this Hare Krishna Mahamant. The more you chant, you will be able to release this mantra. So there is a recap of this chapter. After this chapter, I'll be telling you one short story. It will take a few more minutes, and then we can conclude on today's topic, and then we can go further for that question and answer session also. There is an announcement also, which Sri Hari Prabhu will be also making. So I'll request I need just 5 minutes only. So this is the recap of chapter 3, which we have covered today. So maybe I'll quickly jump. So Arjuna sought the clarification about karma and renunciation. So Arjuna sought this clarification. So he asked this question: what is better for me? Whether should I do my prescribed duty, karma yoga, or should I renunciate everything and go? Krishna then further said, do not artificially renounce. Do your prescribed duty, because if you do artificially renounce, what will happen? Even if you go to Himalayas also, we'll be thinking, what about my family? What about my friends? How would we need to eat? Haven't they eat? So will be, that is known as artificially renunciation. Neither you'll be getting peace, neither you'll be getting perfection. And then Krishna says, if you want to perfection, it's not about renouncing all activities. If we do all karma activities, whatever you're doing, if you dovetail those activities in the form to Krishna, that is known as perfection of life. Work done as a sacrifice of Vishnu will not cause you any bondage. If you're not performing the sacrifices to Vishnu, it will cause you bondage. And said, do not be attached to the results. Just offer to the Krishna. Whatever activities we do, we want to enjoy that. But when we give it to Krishna, we don't get. So this is the prescribed duty, and there are different sacrifices which we saw for the different yuga. The best yagna is there, Kali Yuga of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamant. So this is a small story which I want to say. So this is story about Treta Yuga. This is about, can somebody say who is he this in the first picture?
Lord
Rama.
Rama,
Yes.
Lakshmana, and Sita.
Hari bol. Very bingo. You are very correct. So this is a story about Lord Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra, when he was going with exile, when he was going, he left his kingdom and he was going to exile for 14 years. Lakshmana also accompanying along with Sita Devi also. So what happened? So when they were accompanying, so there was a river was there, and in order to cross that river, they need to take that help of this boat. So this is a kevat. The kevat in Hindi, the Sanskrit, they said the kevat is known as a boatman. So what happened? One day they wanted to cross this river Shrayu. So they called this boatman, and then they are Lord Ramchandra asked boatman, can you help me to please cross this river? And this boatman, this kevat, he was very cunning, he was very smart. And this boatman said, yes, I can help you to cross this river. But this boatman said, I have one condition. And then Lord Ramchandra said, what is that condition which you are applying? He said, oh, Lord Rama, I'll be happy to help you to cross this, but that condition is there. I want to wash your lotus feet. And then Lord Ramchandra said, why you want to wash my lotus feet? Then Ramchandra said, no, I remember long stories, like long back when you were a young prince, before your marriage, you went on to a duty with this Vishwamitra Muni. There is Vishwamitra Muni is there. When he went with Lakshmana also. So there was one incident was there when you kept your lotus leg on that stone. That stone turned into a woman, and this woman was none other than Ahilya. And then the boatman said, if you also kept your lotus queen on my boat, what will happen? This boat will also turn into a woman. Then I'll be in a trouble. If I go to my home, what will happen? My wife will be asking, already you have one daughter at home. This one, one more daughter you have brought. So there will be a problem with the marriage will be there. So this is in, so if you only allow me to touch your lotus feet, then only I'll be allowing you. So Lord Ramchandra is known as Ramchandra. He knows he's sitting in every soul as a Paramatma in the heart. He knows what he wants to do. So this Kevat, what he did, he just washed that lotus feet of Ramchandra, and then they sat on this boat and they were crossing this river. So as soon as they were about to reach this end of this river, Lord Ramchandra asked Mother Sita to give her something because it's a service is there. So he's saying, Lord, and since they were not having any money, since they have left their kingdom, so what Sita Mata did, she took her earrings and then he gave to Lord Ramchandra to just give them to this kevat as an reward, as the what the duties they have performed. So what happened when Lord Ramchandra gave that earring to this kevat, this boatman, this kevat, that he started refusing. No, 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 I don't want to take it. He said, no, you need to take it because you have helped me to cross this river. So this boatman was very smart and he said, no, no, I don't want to take it. And then he said, uh, no, I don't want to take it. I will not be accepting any payment. They said, why you're not accepting? Saying, because we both are into the same profession. And then Lord Rama was very confused why this boatman is saying we are on the same profession. I don't want any payment of this one. So it's an example is then if you go to a two barber shop, both of them is having friend. In this material world also, we take an exchange from the same brothers or something. We don't take money. So the boatman said, we two people are in the same profession. How can we take money from each other? And then he didn't understand Lord Rama. And they said, why you are saying like that? Then he was very confused, Lord Rama. And then he said, am I a boatman, you mean to say? And then this boatman said, yes, you're also a boatman. And they said, can you say me how it is there? The boatman says, my job is to take people from this side of the river to the other side of this river. Your job is to take the people from this material world to the spiritual world. Because you are the Lord, please be merciful also to me, and therefore I cannot ask you anything. And Lord Ram was very, very pleased with the seva attitude of this boatman. This is the only karma yoga. So today we heard about this karma yoga topic, how we have to do our work, our duties nicely, says that we can please the Lord. And the boatman was doing his duty very nicely. So this was the story which I wanted to say. And maybe there are some announcement. Sri Hari Prabhu, you want to take it?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you. So wonderful class and wonderful pastimes. And we heard that whatever the great man performs, the others follow and our circle of influence follows. So let us all do something really great. Okay. So we have Gita Mahayajna on 3rd December Saturday. So let us all together chant 700 verses on the auspicious day of Gita Jayanti. Everybody is welcome. Please call your friends and family. We will all together chant for 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. IST. We will all do it together and it will be an amazing experience. Thank you very much. Can you go to the next slide, please, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
And everybody is going to get a certificate if you are able to complete the entire, if you're able to sit for the session, we will take your attendance and we'll send you a certificate. So that's very nice. And if you want to order a copy of Bhagavad Gita, so here is the QR code which you can use and the price is displayed on the screen. And you can make a payment and put a screenshot in the WhatsApp group, or you can message me and one of the admins in the WhatsApp group. And you can update the form with details in this link. And the book will reach you. Okay, so 4th December, Sunday, we have a very wonderful, amazing seminar on life coaching with Bhagavad Gita. This week's topic is how to overcome the greatest challenges of life, right? So this is an amazing, amazing, amazing secret that we all want to know. Everybody wants to know this, right? So we will hear a very amazing session, practical lessons from Bhagavad Gita from this topic. So everybody is invited again. Please invite your friends and family. Okay. Thank you very much. That's all I have. Thank you, Prabhu Joy. Over to you. Sumukha.
Yes, thank you, Sri Hari Prabhu, for the announcements. So please kindly join also for this Bhagavad Gita. So this is the course that is on Sri Hari Prabhu will be taking for the Sunday classes. It will help you. Whatever the problems in life is there, I will be able to overcome it. Yeah. So as I said, if somebody is attending this course for 12 days, is there and attending this classes for 12 days and 12 days quizzes their answers, so they'll be getting this certificate. And this is our address. ISKCON Seshadripuram. If somebody is there in the Bangalore, anytime you can visit this temple. And there is a special classes will be also be arranged on Srimad Bhagavatam on Sundays also. And no need to worry, no need to think about foods. You'll be coming there and you'll be getting prasadam also, which is absolutely free of cost. So this is the address. And maybe thank you all devotees for joining for today's class. If somebody is having any questions and answer, we'll be happy to take those. Okay, so I'll request all the devotees. Now the stage is all yours.
Hi, I am new and I just wanted to know if these recordings will be shared. And today is my first day, so I missed the first 2 sessions.
Yes, Mataji. Gayatri Mataji, yes, the recordings are already been shared for the first 2 days. Maybe I'll post you. You can ping in the group or ping me to me or Sri Hari Prabhu also. We'll share you again those links. And for today class also, we'll be sharing those recordings also.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Swarnalata Mataji, you have raised your hand. Yes, Mataji. There is a name with Poco C3 phone. You have unmuted. You want to ask Prabhuji some questions? Hare Krishna. Okay, there might be there. Okay, Ravi Prabhu, I see they have raised hand. Prabhuji, you can unmute yourself and ask a question, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, actually, when you are telling about this third chapter, Karma Yoga, so Karma Yoga, major difference between Karma and Yoga would be that whatever the duties we are performing should all be dedicated to Krishna. Or that's true, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
And the thing is that actually, yeah, whatever the things we perform, either it is a positive thing, then you will get the reaction of positive. And if it is a negative karma, then you will get the negative thing. So the timeline for that, getting that reaction is immediately or it takes time to
Yes,
get
Prabhu.
that reaction, either positive or negative. Please.
So Prabhu, is there something you want to add something more also to your question, or is it fine? Should I answer it?
Yes. Some more thing is that, is there any what are the different kinds of karmas? I heard in some of the books like Sanchita Karma, all this, I don't remember the names, but can you please elaborate on the same, Prabhuji? That's it.
Yes, Prabhu. With respect to the time also, maybe if you, is there this karma is basically, as you said, how much time is saying. So I'll just give you an example, you'll be able to understand. So if you take a seed, if you take any seed and if you plant in that, what will happen? If you take that seed and plot in that the soil, what will happen? After some time, you need to nurture it. You need to give some in form of what we say waters. What will happen if you give this water? After sometimes a sapling will be coming out from this seeds. You'll be seeing a sprout is coming out, and after more, if you keep on taking care of those saplings, this sapling will convert into a small tree, like you can say small bushes or something like that. As the time goes, what will happen? This bush will be further and it will be growing and it will take as a form of a small tree. And further, if you just take this, suppose this small seed is of a mango tree, so that will happen, it will convert into a big tree, and from that big tree what will happen? It will further give a manjari. Whenever a fruit is coming, first it will come, manjari will be coming. From that manjari, what will be coming? Small saplings of fruits will be coming, which is known as a ticola, or the small raw mangoes will be there. And that raw mangoes will be, as the time goes, it will keep on increasing in size, and further it will be having, it will like, if you want to release this mango, it will, once it is ripe, you can happy. So if you can see how over the period of the time, this from a small sapling trees, this again one more fruit came. So similarly, if somebody is doing any karma, it might be immediate, it might be, it will take some time also to come. So suppose if I'm having any dysentery, if I go to a doctor, the first immediate question he will be asking me is, what did you eat last night? So this is the immediate karma, the results we are able to see right now only. Suppose if I'm drinking alcohol or any cigarette or anything is there, it takes some time, it takes some over of time during our old age, what will happen? The doctor will say, in your early ages, you have drank too much of alcohol and you have drank so much of cigarette. That's what you are suffering. So this karma, whether it is good or bad, over period of time, it grows. Coming back to the second question of your, yes, karmas are
Yes.
of three types or also is there. Prarabdha karma, many karmas are there. The karma, each, if you take an example of a sea, so each one is having at one different kind of stages are there. Different kind of stages are there. So we have done something that we have plowed that seed. So once we have plowed that seed in the soil, that means we'll be getting, sooner or later, we'll be getting that karma, whether it is good. So some karma, so suppose it takes from our previous life also. If you take that Lord Rama example, is there Lord Rama, if you take in her back, what is there? Bunch of arrows are there in the back. So those are nothing but, if you read Garud Puran, in the Garud Puran, the Lord says, those are nothing but the pious and the impious karma which everyone has to suffer in this material world. And according, as we say, so suppose something is like the fruit is already fructified, you will be getting that karma in this birth also, or it might take another birth. It goes on like that, Prabhu. And when we do dovetail our activities, what happens? Neither will be getting good karma, neither will be getting a bad karma, and then we can go away from this material world, back home, back to Godhead, Prabhu. Is it clear, Prabhu? There are more details also. If you want more details, I
And
can just in a summary way I have
yes.
told.
Uh, and one more thing, actually, if a person suffering with some kind of problem, like it
Mhm.
would be, might be the previous Janma's karma, what is now is facing that problem. And I believe that means after understanding since last 1.5 year, I'm there in this Krishna conscious.
Mhm.
So the thing is that if he performs his Krishna conscious perfectly, like chanting as Prabhupada told, 16 rounds daily and doing seva for Krishna, then definitely this kind of problems what we are facing now will be able to, we can overcome those kind of karma, I believe. Is it that true, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. We'll be discussing more on this chapter also as we furtherly goes on the Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter also. Krishna says, when we completely, our devotee, when he completely surrenders to the Lord, we can take an example of Srila Prabhupada also. At the age of 69, he traveled to a different country just to preach this message. And we see, we are, Srila Prabhupada is not there, just the only Bhagavad Gita is there. How many devotees, the life has been changed. And I'll give you one practical example also. There is one devotee in ISKCON Seshadripuram also. When we say, when we do kirtan and when we clap our hands, whatever rekhas, these are known as rekhas are there, which is in there in our palms, it gets changed. So this person was having a 4th stage cancer, and that he has shown everywhere, it's in country, foreign, and everywhere. And he's saying, you have only hardly 3 months of time. And then he came and he started, he was not a devotee, he became a devotee. And from the last more than 5 years, he's still alive. So that's the power of devotional service. So when you
Haribol,
take
Haribol.
into a devotional service, even your fate also gets changed, Prabhu. And as you said, if somebody chants 16 of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, daily, in the morning, whatever they says also, they are the pure devotees. Like Srila Prabhupada used to mention, if somebody is chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, whatever, over the period of time, 10 to 12 years, and attending every day Mangal Aarti, not missing any day, whatever they say, it's become true. That's the mercy, because they are dedicating their whole life. It takes hardly 2 hours of your time in the morning. It's very important to complete your rounds in the early morning, and that's a whole, you will be feeling the whole life is very blissful, and the whole day will be nothing. Sometimes we will
Yes,
think,
yes, yes.
yes, bro. Okay.
Yes, I'm experiencing this, but still I'm a very small, actually, very little of experience. But as the blessings of seniors like you and Krishna, will definitely. I want to grow more into spiritual Krishna conscious thing, Prabhuji.
So Krishna says, Prabhu, that's everyone, this bhakti is already been dormant in dormant stage. Everyone loves, because we are been conditioned in three gunas, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. That's the reason we forget it. And sometimes when we come in contact with Bhagavad Gita, like a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, many spiritual masters in ISKCONs, when we can just simply by just coming in contact, whole of our entity has been revealed, and then we take this process, and then that is the ultimate. We'll be seeing more in the further classes also, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, I guess yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, devotees, any other questions, Mataji and Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. If possible, also devotees, I request also, if possible, you can turn on your cameras also. It will be good for me also. It's not a compulsory, but if you done and ask the question, we don't know when we will be interacting next time.
How could we do our duties in the form of karma yoga?
Yes, in the second chapter also, in the last you say, Krishna says, whenever you're doing your duty, do not be attached to that duties. Don't be attached to that duties, and always think that we sometimes think, okay, I have done. We see in this material work, oh, because of my hard work, I'm able to achieve these things. But in the further classes, you will be able to see Krishna is the sanctioner. Until and unless Krishna doesn't sanction you, you won't be getting that things. So we shouldn't be thinking, as I talk here about whether it is good or whether it is bad. You do your prescribed duty. Don't think about that result. That's what Krishna is telling here in second in chapter also, and in this third chapter also. Krishna in this third chapter is talking, do your prescribed duties. Don't think like okay, whatever family, whatever the responsibility you are having, whether you're a student, what is the responsibility of a student at that time? He or she needs to study, then only he will be able to pass. So suppose if the teacher is teaching and I'll think, okay, I won't be attending any lectures, I won't be attending any classes, and at the end of our school or at the end of our examination I'll be able to pass. Yes, you can pass, but bare minimum marks you'll be getting. And what will happen? You need to do your prescribed duty. What is your prescribed duty at that time? You need to study there. So similarly, I give the example of a mother. If the mother doesn't cooks, who will be eating? The whole family will be suffering. If the father doesn't work, he doesn't ask, the family people won't be able to subside on this. So that's Krishna is saying, whatever activity is doing, just do that activity. Don't renunciate. Don't take as like, okay, I'll sit and then all the monies will be coming to me. No, Krishna is not saying. Even for drinking a water also, you need to take your hand and then take a bottle of fill in a glass of water, and then you need to open your mouth and put this hand into, and then you will be able to sip those water. So that's the karma. And Krishna is further saying, don't be attached to that results of that. Just do your duties. He's saying it's better that doing your duty is better than renunciating, not doing that activities. That's what Krishna is saying. Hope Mataji it answers the question.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Sonlata Mataji, I see your hand is raised, Mataji. Have a question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I'm having two boys and they are coming with me to temple. They take prasadam, they do kirtan with me. But when chanting comes, they are not so very sincere in that actually. So how can I encourage them
Okay.
to be regular in chanting, Prabhu?
Okay, Mataji. How old are your kids, Mataji?
Elder one is 15, younger one is 10, Prabhu.
Okay, and which temple you are associated?
ISKCON Chennai, Prabhu.
ISKCON Chennai. So Mataji, if you go to any ISKCON temple also, one thing we should understand, so everyone has their time, everyone has their free space also, and never try to force anyone. One thing which I told you is that we as a family members, as a leader, we should do our, in order to force them, we should be also doing those activities. When the children will be thinking, okay, my parents are also doing those activities and they are very happy, then they will take up. If you try to force them, what will happen? They will run away from that. Any activities, not only in bhakti, only in devotional, say, take any activities. When it is coming from inside, they will take. And how you can inculcate this habit is that, see, in every ISKCON Saturdays and for the kids specifically, classes will be there. When you go and visit, try to visit all ISKCON center wherever, in whichever places you are there. On Sundays, go and connect to them. For like elders like you, people will be having a different Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita classes. For children, there are separate classes are there. When they will be mingling with those like-minded people, what will happen? Those qualities will be automatically coming. And the best way is to start from our home. We only need to start. If suppose we, just example, I give you that example of, if I tell to our kids, don't speak lies. And we ourselves are only lies. What will happen? Those people won't be taking. I say, my father is only lying. Why should I do? Hope it helps, Mataji. For this more, will giving you offline also.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you. Okay, okay, Rajesh Prabhu. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, you have raised your hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, in this Kali Yuga, you said like karma, like do your duty without any kind of expectations and all. Is it possible to do in this Kali Yuga?
Yes, Prabhu. See, how it is there, it's possible. See, mating and achievement. So lot of, if I give you also, in our life also, lot of time, see, expectation is different and fate is different. Lot of time we have expectation from our family members, from everything. So there is a one time question somebody asked me also, what is that important thing, or who hurts our self, like why we get hurt? So our own expectation only actually gets hurt. When our expectation is not met, we get hurt, whether it's promotion, whether it's family members, spouse, or the children. If the children is not behaving in a correct way, we feel like, oh, okay, he's not listening to us also. Coming back to that question, expectation is there. Yes, you can have your expectation, you can have a track, but you're entitled to that one, whether it's good, or suppose if you're working in your whatever your profession might be there, Prabhu. So suppose if you're I'm just taking an example just to explain you. Suppose you're earning 10 rupees right now per month, and you're with 10 rupees, it's very hard to take complete care of your family members and all. Then you're thinking, okay, if I work hard, what will happen? I can get, if 15 rupees I can get, what will happen? My whole family members will be very happy. I will be able to meet their expectation, and all financial stability will be there. But what will happen, whether you'll be getting or not, you don't know. That's the sanction. It will be Krishna. You can only work hard. Work hard, after certain of time, Krishna will be there, So then he will be them. But yes, you need to have a sit. What Krishna here is also taking is there, do your duties, whether you will be getting or not. That's a different. You can't say, okay, I don't work, my family members and all those kids are there, they will be only getting all those monies also. It's like that, Prabhu. So we need to do our prescribed duties, but we shouldn't be attached to the results we'll be getting. Expectation you can have, but Krishna says, if you're doing your hard duties, sooner or later Krishna will give you. It's not that he won't be giving you. But the most important thing, why sometimes even Krishna, in case of this devotees, what he does is, there sometimes in the further chapters also we'll be saying, there are 4 kinds of peoples are there who come to and take devotional service also. Sometimes we are in case of money, or we are in very much of pain, then that's the reason we take to bhakti. And Krishna is saying, yes, sometimes he doesn't give immediate relief or immediate money also, because if we get that money, or if we get that immediate relief, what will happen? Again we will go back away from Krishna, and that one opportunity which we get, we'll be losing that. And that's the reason sometimes if your young kid is there, Prabhu, and he or she comes and asks
In
you,
that case, we get
Prabhu, your voice is echoing, Prabhu.
no, Prabhu. I had a question here again.
Uh-huh.
Prabhu, like in that case, like whatever is happening and all, like maximum time it is a bad thing happening. Is it because like we have to be attached with Krishna, so we get so much of troubles?
No, Prabhu. Krishna is not saying because of Krishna you are getting the karma. It's our own karma. Because of that you are able. Suppose if you are having 4 kids are there, if any family members are having 4 kids, and the Garud Purana also says, you might be saying all your 4 kids, the characters. So there are 5 things when a person is born, it will be taken. So one of the 5 things is characters also. So you're saying your 4 kids are having, all the 4 kids won't be having the same character. Somebody will be very obedient, somebody won't be. So suppose what will happen is, somebody after some years he will become big and he will do some murder and he will be there in the jail. So as a being, as a father, as a mother, what will do? He will be treating all those 4 son or daughter equally. So that's because of his karma, since he or she have done some murder, he's affecting there in the jail. The other 3 daughters or the son who was there present, he's enjoying their life because of their karma. Being a father or being a mother, you don't inflate in that karma. So Krishna is not giving us the bad thing or good thing. Because of our own karma, we are suffering and enjoying. That's what the karma yoga is there.
Prabhu, like when Prabhu, like they say like we don't know like what karma you have done in the past life, maybe past pre-birth and all. So you are struggling now. So Prabhu, like it is no answer without a question. So we're just writing an answer without a question. So we don't know what we have done it. So how will I find out what I've done in my last birth?
So Prabhu, it's answer because maybe in that 15th chapter also I'll be touching you this on this topic, why we don't know our previous birth, why we are giving a clean sheet, why we don't remember our past karma. So suppose Krishna says this forgetfulness, remembrance, everything comes from me. When we are getting a new life, we forget everything and then we start on a new journey. Why it is happening is, suppose if I'm taking 10,000 rupees from you in this life and I'm scolding you a lot, you are like that, and I'm very powerful and you're not able to do anything to me. And what happens after sometimes, if you both of us taking another janma or something is there, and you remember me, I have taken 10,000 rupees of him, and in the last term he have troubled me so much. I won't be able to leave this one. And not this time in this life, you have become a manager. I'm your associate working under you. Will you leave me? Suppose if I was born as a pig, what pig does? Only the dirty things. When I'm starting right now, if I'm eating, if I remember in my last life, I was eating those things, then I won't be able. So that's why Krishna gives you a forgetfulness. In the 15th chapter, we'll be discussing more on this, that will be able to lead a peaceful life. Whatever in this life only, you see, Prabhu, if I abuse you, if I scold you, or in our family members, any family members also is scolded in the morning, we keep in our head, it will be there, oh, my wife has scolded me. It keeps on repeating. We won't be able to start from a like a new life. So that's why Krishna gives and since all of you are coming to this session, there are more than 120 people are there in the group, but we see hardly 40 to 50 devotees are coming. That's a sukirti which you are having in this human body. Already you have done some pious karma in your previous life. That's what you have gone as a body of a human. As the class progresses, Prabhu, all your questions will be automatically answers. I assure you, Prabhu. Lord will be answering you all this question. Since I'm not revealing at a point, because if I reveal everything, each and everything will be, it's like each chapter is been there interconnected with why we are suffering through so much of pain, why we are getting miseries, why we are there, why we don't remember all those previous birth, why it is there. This a mercy of the devotees is there now. He says so. Now also, if you are got this chance and again we go back, then it will be very difficult. You keep on just Prabhu chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, just 11 times, one round, 108 rounds. If you do 108 times, it is one equivalent to 1 round. If you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day early in the morning, whenever you wake, it's hardly tense. It's just like thanking the God which they have given us the life. You will see whole day your life will be very peaceful. You'll be able to do all your activities. None of your activities will be hampered. Just only you need to take 10 minutes of your time to Krishna, and you'll be saying whatever impurities are there, whatever questions are there, you will be. Prabhu, you have a Bhagavad Gita copy, Prabhu?
Prabhu, yes, Prabhu, I have a Gita, I have a Srimad Bhagavatam also at home.
Oh, Jai Haribol. So Prabhupada used to say one thing. This Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada have named is Bhagavad Gita as it is. Please keep on reading one shloka every day. What it will happen, whatever questions you have, automatically it will be answered. Don't keep it as it is. Prabhupada used to say,
Yeah,
read it
no,
also.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it, but not regularly. Whenever I get time, yes, I read that.
Yes, Prabhu. And maybe one announcement also I can say, maybe once we are completed this 18 days of course also, early in the morning, what is there? There's a program is there, which the devotees want to chant and read Bhagavad Gita. So every day in the morning also, we read each slokas together. So that will also help you to understand more of the knowledge also, Prabhu. Any other question, Prabhu?
For time being, that's all, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Because this is the third time I'm attending this. Wage Krishna Prabhu was taking the class earlier time.
Yes,
I was attending, but
Vrajanatha.
not regularly. Not regularly, but yes, now I got a chance. I should not visit, so I just made this. No, I have to
Just
attend.
give your 1 hour of time, Prabhu. For 18 days, you'll be able to understand that knowledge which is there.
Sure,
That's all
thank
I'll
you.
request, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, some other devotees, if somebody is having any questions before we end up for today's class. Swanlata Mataji, you have any questions? You have one.
In that link, Prabhu, that morning chanting, Prabhu.
Mataji, we'll send it in sometimes, Mataji.
Okay,
Just-
okay.
We'll discuss and send you the link, because there are a lot of new devotees that they let them go through this course, then they will get that knowledge, because they won't be chantings. They can join. I can send you if you want to join in the morning session. I can send you also, Mataji.
Yes,
We'll come by. It's been everything has been designed, Mataji. Yeah. Any other questions, devotees?
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
No questions, Prabhuji. Thank you for such a wonderful session, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Any other
Krishna.
devotees have any question, or Sri Hari Prabhu, you want to add any of the questions, answers also? You can please feel free to ask. Yeah, Sri Hari Prabhu is a very senior devotees, and because of him only we are able to conduct these classes. So he's coordinating everything very nicely, and you can also reach out to him also if in case of any queries or doubts also. Okay, Rajesh Prabhu, you have raised your hands, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, by mistake.
Okay. Any other question before we wind up for today class? Okay, I take it as a no, maybe. Thank you, devotees, for taking out your time and joining for today's classes. So tomorrow is very important chapter, chapter 4, which is known as transcendental knowledge. We'll be saying why Bhagavad Gita is known as transcendental knowledge. Krishna will be telling to Arjuna, and he will be giving that knowledge to Arjuna. Through that knowledge, he will be able to remove all his doubts is there. So I'll request everyone, please join tomorrow. Take out your time, 1 hour of your time, and we'll be able to read together this Bhagavad Gita. Vancha kalpa tarubhesha kripa sindhubheva cha patit namam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo nama anant koti vaishnavin ki jai namachari Haridas Thakur ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees, for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna
Priya,
Mataji.
wonderful session.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji. Okay. Hare Krishna. So maybe with all your permission, I'll be ending the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Shri.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.